What's going on, guys? It's Chipmunk Master Boy bringing another video. Alright, so here we got the Speck Candyshell for the new iPhone. It doesn't really say the iPhone 5 for obvious reasons, because when they actually came out with this case, they didn't know whether it was going to be called the iPhone 5 or the new iPhone, just like the iPad 3 and 4 now. So here's the Speck case. It offers 2-in-1 hard and soft construction, almost ultra protection according to Speck, and shock absorbent as well. Now on the other side is some more information, and I guess we'll not waste much time and just open the case up. Just open it up like that and the case pops out. This is going to be my review on it. And let's put the case to the side. We have some product limited warranty information. We don't really need that. Let's get rid of this box. Put it to one side. So just get a little closer look. Here's the actual case. You notice that it has somewhat of a polka dot like rubber finish on the inside, and it has a little bit of a black plastic on the camera side. Now let's flip it around and you have this gloss finish, and on the corners you have the rubber that follows through to absorb shock. So when you drop it on the corner, the rubber absorbs most of the shock and then the plastic does. It's somewhat bendy, like I can actually bend it. Like you can see, it's very flexible, and you do have coverings for the volume button and the lock screen button. You have a little slot over here for the mute and unmute button. On the bottom you have the speaker as well as the microphone jack and the new lightning connector port. You have all of that, so it fits perfectly fine. I'm going to put that over there and grab my iPhone. Of course, I have the white iPhone 5. Just want to, take out like any sort of cloth. I usually use a microfiber cloth. Got this with my PlayStation Vita. So I thought I'd just, use it, and make sure your screen is fairly clean. So I want to give it a good rub. The sides, the corners, everywhere. And it seems fairly clean. I'll just give it my final inspection. There seems to be a small speck over here. So alright guys, after giving it a thorough clean with the cloth, it's now certified by CMB standards, or Chipmunk Master Boy standards, to actually be put back into the case. And this is very actually important, because you don't want to be putting your case with any debris, obviously, because you're going to scratch the back. Make sure there's no debris in your case as well. I know that this sounds really funny when you're watching this video, but just make sure, because you don't want any debris in the case. And installing the case is fairly simple. Make sure you have the volume side buttons going in first. Push that in. You'll hear a little click. Just slide that in, and now simply push that forward. Now it's a pretty funny lock screen. Anyway, so now the thing is installed, and let's take a look at this. The case in general, I have gotten to use it for a couple of hours right now, like about 8-9 hours, and this case is fairly good. One problem, I'll just go through this in different categories. First, we'll start up with protection. The case offers a good amount of protection, especially if you want your back to be protected, because the only opening you have is the camera, and that's still indented, and you see that good amount of elevation from the actual phone. And no scratches whatsoever. I haven't had any reports or any concerns about debris going into the case or dust accumulating inside of it. Moving on to the side of the case, you see that you have access for your volume mute. Buttons work perfectly fine. I'll just show you that. They're very responsive. Alright, and on the bottom of the device you do have adequate amount of ports for accessing your accessories. So you have your speaker grill as well as the microphone grill, and your slot over here. I'm not sure if this works with an L jack though. It's not a lot of it's not elevated by too much. I'll just show you that a little bit more closely. It's not elevated by a lot, but it's still enough. So just check that if you have an L jack on your headphones, and you can test that out. In terms of putting in accessories, so for example, if you want the lightning to actual 30-pin dock connector accessory, you'll have to remove this case and probably put it in. Another awesome feature about this case is the fact that it has a huge lip. Now I'll give you a perspective. I'm able to fold this cloth in half and it has a lip. Like, I'll give you a perspective in terms of my finger. You can see that the lip is actually pretty darn big. I'm just trying to get the right amount of focus. There we go. So that's a pretty big lip. So this has a lay on the table design. So I could just put this on the table and your screen's not getting in contact. As well, it's rubber, so it doesn't move around. So I can't flick it around everywhere. It stays. It's good. In terms of protection, you do have the rubber in the corners. So when you drop it on a corner, it gets distributed throughout the case before your phone actually takes any impact. The back plastic is fairly hard. I don't think it should break unless you smash it to the ground, which I do not recommend, obviously. Other than that, let's go on to the next thing, which is price. Now, this case is priced in at $34.95 or $34.99. I was able to get it for sale on Amazon.com, and they had a special price going on, so I was able to get it for about $25. But $34.99 is not bad for this case. It does provide adequate amount of protection. And if you can find something cheaper like an OtterBox on sale for $34.99, I'd rather you go in for that. But this is for people who kind of, you know, protect their phone, but they want that back protection and the side protection just from small nicks and scratches on the front of the device and the back of the device. Then this case is really good for you. Another thing is we'll move on to the actual flaws of this case, in my opinion. So this is totally opinionated, but one flaw is that I really wish they had some form of rubber button for even the mute and unmute button, because I'm left-handed and I can't fit my thumb in like that and actually move the thing from muting and unmuting. Whereas if you are right-handed, it's fairly easy to do. However, you will have a little bit of problems, but it's fairly easy. It's not too hard, but it's just a pretty big drop. So just giving you my thoughts on it. Other than that, I guess there's no major concerns. Another thing is that actually when you're getting it out of your pocket, you will, you know, if you have lint in your pocket, maybe the rubber might latch onto the lint, but not much. You can just rub it off. It doesn't stick, so that's good. It's not a cheap type of rubber. It's actually a really good quality rubber. As well as on here, you'll have the lint, but you can just wipe that off. The most annoying thing about this case is probably the fact that, I'm just trying to get into the light, if you can see it, but this case does get in a good amount of scratches. Like, even from just pulling it out, you can probably, you can't really see it that well on this case, but yes, it does get in a good amount of scratches on it. You can probably see those nicks over there. It does get scratched, but that's okay because it's white in color and you can't really tell unless you put it against a really shiny light like the lights up here. Other than that, this has been the review of the Speck Candyshell. You can get this at your local retailer, electronics retailer, or Amazon, eBay for about $34.95, or on the SpeckProducts.com website. This is the blue and white edition on the iPhone 5. The white iPhone 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and stay tuned guys, because more reviews will be pouring in.